What's going on, everybody? We are back for another exciting episode of Finding Your Niche with Niche. I am sitting next to these very handsome gentlemen of Evan Alexander Fine Grooming, and we're here to talk about beards and a lot more. But sitting next to me is Brandon and Joe. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Niche.
You guys, Evan Alexander is now $1 million company.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
It is.
That is a big deal. Like, I have to open with that. Like, your company is worth $1 million now. You guys have made $1 million.
Yeah, a little over $1 million.
Excuse me. A little over $1 million. Joe, you do a lot of the back end stuff for the business. Can you talk about how you guys got to that point and what it feels like now to have accomplished that feat?
Okay. So what you're doing, you're referencing the news article that went out, and it was referencing how we made our first $1 million out of our apartment. So we actually made our first $1 million in 2019. So we've made a few more since then. We've been able to grow exponentially, just I think highly due to our marketing team. Mm-hmm. Being able to have like the social media manager in-house, as well as having the videographer, senior content producer in-house, all that stuff matters, and it comes together and getting our brand out there and the level of exposure that we've been able to receive.
Wow. Okay, so you said marketing was a big aspect.
Almost
definitely. That was a huge contributor to the success of the brand. You kind of spearhead a lot of the marketing and a lot of the branding. Can you talk about your understanding of marketing and why it was so imperative that you guys contributed that resource into the brand?
Yeah, so content is everything, content and context. And so what I was just looking at is that no one in our space was actually producing original content. So I knew we had an opportunity to really take advantage of this space. And I mean, we would talk about it when we were at the house. We would say, "Hey, man, we're gonna really build out a media squad, a media team." Just like if going into it, if you were like an agency, an ad agency, building something of that level, or at least close to it. And we also understood where the industry is and was at that time, where it was, if it's all about content, then you should be putting your resources, a majority of your resources, in that particular space. Because that's going to drive your brand awareness. It's going to help you get in front of people. It's going to help you create a community. You'll be able to nurture a community, so on and so on and so forth. And that is pretty much what happened, and that's what worked. Now, in terms of the marketing aspect, in terms of just being able to get yourself out there and put yourself in front of the right people at the right time, it was just a matter of us just making sure that that we had a great message, and our message was consistent. We were diligent. We were there to help guide and assist men and people just in our community, even ladies, because they had boyfriends, husbands, and things of that nature, fathers, where we can help guide them and talk about how to care for your beard. So when we was able to really put the resources behind it, it was kind of like, having a V8, at that particular time, at that point. So now you're able to really have an opportunity to be the first to cross the finish line.
And with that being said, too, what do you think it was that you guys did right? Community was first. We built a community, and that's where we started. A lot of times people start with product, or they start with some type of informational product, but they don't start with the community. And so once you have a community of people who you support, and then they're going to support you, like, think about it. If you have two people who are putting a lot of energy into a community of hundreds of thousands of people we're talking about, what do you think they're going to do? It's going to be the law of reciprocity. They're going to bounce that energy right back because you gave them so much up front. And that's what we did. And so when the time came, when we launched Evan Alexander Grooming, they paid that time and energy, and they paid their respect back to us when we launched. So we was in a really, really great position because we put community first. That's a good point. So that's what you guys did right. Can you guys talk about or touch on what was your biggest challenge really trying to navigate the terrain of having a business of this scale and what you did wrong?
Well, I can reference some things that were some struggles for us. I know when we first started out, just working out of the apartment, from a space standpoint, like, we did not have enough space. I remember at one point we had thousands and thousands of dollars of product in the house, and everything's on wheels. The tables are on wheels so we can move everything around so we can shoot content. But yeah, I had the kitchen, like, really couldn't cook anything to eat because we're making product in the kitchen. Like, it was definitely a challenge. But we got to a space where we knew we had to leave the space. not necessarily, oh, we just want a new space. It was like we got to the point we can't hire any more people because we don't have enough space. I mean, and at that point we had like 6 people coming to work in our house, in our living room, in our kitchen.
Whoa.
So like we're literally taking everything out there that was in the bed, in the living room, just completely out, putting it in storage and bringing in tables, work tables, product and machines to get stuff done.
And what was the decision? I guess who made the decision rather for you guys to not just go brick and mortar like right off the top?
Brick and mortar as in creating a store, or
as in creating a store.
Oh, okay. Well, one, it's just not the best thing to do from a real estate perspective or either from a business perspective. Right now, being DTC, which is direct to consumer, it makes the most sense financially. Thinking about leasing additional space just to house our products and sell our products, getting that traffic to really make that make sense financially, it could be tough. And I think a lot of businesses go wrong. They go the wrong route when they do that, when they try to start out with the store first, when they don't necessarily have that demand for it, if you will.
And so when you guys come across that realization that the company has made, a little over $1 million in revenue, how does that change you?
Personally?
Yes.
Well, I don't think that it. Let's just say this: that you have to be very cognizant that you are responsible for people. You're responsible for a company. You're responsible for your business partner. Like the stakes are higher at that particular time. So now you have to keep things put things in perspective from that particular point of view. So that's what I would say that has changed, was that now the stakes are higher. So then now we have to be very cognizant of our time, our energy, the people that we have around us. Because if not, like we can put ourselves in a position where everything that we built, all the momentum can be gone just like that overnight, just because we just didn't love the business leveled up, but our mindset didn't level up, and so we got to level up with the business.
Wow, that's a good point. Staying on top of the theme of like the mind and your mentality, what would you guys say was the biggest mental barriers that you had to overcome with the business?
Mental barriers with the business. I would just say delegating. When you're doing something for so long, and it's your baby, and now you're involving other people, and you have to trust them, and that's tough. I mean, that's tough for a lot of people, for a lot of leaders who are leading a company, is to be able to delegate, because you're not just saying, hey, go do this. You have to have a system in place. You have to tell them what to do, share with them what to do, show them what to do, guide them, and that in itself, it takes time. And is that something coming up?
No,
I was like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, what's going on?
So we're in the jungle.
Yeah. I thought we was in the real jungle. I grew up with rats and mice, so my senses, I'm a little sensitive. But it's just the delegation part. And you have to knowing what to delegate, what not to delegate, what's important, what's not important. If you don't, that's a skill within itself, and it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. I know for me, I'm still working on it. I've gotten better, but I'm still working on that. And I do see that when I have delegated, man, it just gives me a lot more freedom.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Joe, what about you?
I think a lot of that actually speaks to having systems and standard operating procedures in place so you can delegate. So literally creating the systems, creating the guidelines. This is this document. This is how you run this process. This is how you run this. This is how you make product. This is how you do. So you can actually take yourself out. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I probably learned over the last year or so. Is just the need for having those standard operating procedures. It's definitely changed my life a lot, taking a lot of stress off of my plate. A lot of what I was doing on a day-to-day, I've been able to actually delegate to other members on the team, and I see the fruits of those labors now. And we're still moving forward with that. I mean, there's always additional SOPs to create, always different things that we need to make sure everything's written down on paper, and we actually have rules and procedures so that everybody knows what they're doing. And that's something that we put a lot of effort into over the last few months, and really seeing those results now.
Okay. So with that being said, too, another aspect of like obviously seeing that level of success, having millions of dollars roll in with revenue from your company. Do you splurge? Do you not splurge? Do you see the money coming in and actually want to do something with your success? How did you guys kind of decide what to do with it?
I mean, it's tough, right? Because you're looking at, especially in my role, I'm looking at every dollar that's going in and out. So then there's always opportunities to improve the business. So it's like, yeah, I could take out money and go on a super dope vacation and spend like $20,000 something crazy. Or I could go buy a camera system or something that we need for the actual company, make sure our employees are getting compensated correctly, making sure we have everything that we need, because there's always a need with growing the business and scaling the business. I mean, like compared to what we needed last year to what we need now, it's just two totally different things. Even in terms of support, the amount of equipment that we need, even elevating and getting better equipment that can produce product at a faster space. So, you know, it is humbling at times because you do want to do those splurges and you do want to do these things, but, you know, it's part of that is making that sacrifice so we can continue to grow and sustain the business. Yeah, I mean, we spend money, of course, like went on some vacations and things of that nature, but my lifestyle, specifically for me, it hasn't really changed. My lifestyle is still the same as what it was. You know, it's being humble. I drive the same car that I had from 2013, 2014. Wow. Like just because you made a few million, I mean, yeah, you're making money, but you're also spending money too.
But okay, so are you tempted though? Are you tempted to actually?
The ego is definitely tempting. Definitely tempting. I know I have my dream car that I want. And
what's your dream car?
I mean, it's just like a little Range, just a little Range Rover.
Okay,
nothing
like
not a Rolls Royce and nothing like that. I just want a little Range.
Mine is white though. That's my dream car. Is that yours?
A white one?
Yeah.
Actually, I like the two-tone. It would be the two-tone white if I did the white, or either like two-tone silver and black.
Okay. Yes,
but yeah, but you know, it's about humbling yourself for now. I think that a lot of that stuff is just recognition that people want. Because like, who am I doing this for, right? Do I want that car for me, or do I want that for what people are going to see and what their impression of me? And that's something that I had to really think about. Which is
temporary.
Yeah, man. I mean, that validation, like, what is nice, but at the end of the day, it's like, what does it really mean?
What about for you?
Yeah, you know, a friend of ours, Joe and I, Jonathan, he came over one time, and he was looking out the door, our front door of the office. I'm like, what are you looking at? He was like, oh, I'm looking out in the parking lot. I'm like, what's out in the parking lot? And I'm thinking, oh, wow, he must see some really, really nice cars just because of where our office is. There's other businesses that have their businesses where a lot of high-end cars you'll find in our office space. Not in our office, but they're there for the business. But long story short, I stand out the door. I'm trying to see what he's looking at, right? He's like, man, you know what? He's like, B, man, y'all could have went out and purchased the Range, the G-Wagon, all these particular high-end cars and things of that nature. Like, y'all could have done that, but y'all didn't. Y'all stayed true to the journey, and y'all invested in back into your business. Y'all put all the profits right back into your business. Y'all begin to build your team, bring in more people in. Now you have the opportunity to give people raises and bonuses, and if you out there driving a $300, $200, $1,000 car, then that's going to interrupt your ability to grow and scale at the pace that you want to grow. And so when he said that, you know, it didn't hit me, but I was like, yeah, that's pretty. He's like, man, I really appreciate and I respect that you guys didn't go out there and do that, because on social media, that's what's happening.
Easy.
It's so easy.
Yeah,
it's so easy to go out there and just stunt real quick and say,
especially in Atlanta too.
Oh, absolutely. This is what we did. This is what we rolling in. This is how we rocking. But to Joe's point, you know, he's been rocking his car since 2013. Mine's I've been doing since 2016. You know, and it's a used car, so it's like don't get off track, like, because things as you continue to grow and as you continue to as your business grows and you get more money, more success, you're gonna be tempted to go buy things and do things that you may not. Should be not to say you shouldn't do it, but it may not be the best time. Yeah. So you got to make sure, hey, let's make sure that the home is good, the foundation is good, and then once we got that locked in and secured, then we can think about going to buy these other, these other things like cars, homes, and stuff, and things of that nature.
That's a good point.
And think about the perception of that too. Like think about, we pull up in a Rolls Royce or something, a $300,000 car, and then my employee pulling up right next to me.
Yeah, they're pretty.
And then it's just like, wow, okay, so I think I need to make more money. Or then it becomes, people can start getting jealous, or people can start thinking that they're entitled to more, things of that nature. It's just, and all that really is about perception.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And to kind of piggyback off of what you guys are saying, like the people that you work with and putting the investment into building a good team and making sure that infrastructure is held up well. You guys have been riding this thing from the beginning, for the most part, right? It was originally your idea, and then Joe came along really early on. Can you guys talk about your work relationship and your friendship and how you guys have learned how to mingle the two?
Yeah, it's like any relationship. Joe and I, we live together, we work together, we eat together, we drink together. You know what I mean? Like, we do a lot of things together. And when you are when you have that type of relationship, you still got to learn how to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. You business partner, wife, whatever your situation, partner, whatever your situation is, you got to learn how to be in a relationship. And that's what we've been learning, how to keep our relationship healthy, like personal relationship healthy, because then that's going to spill over into the business. And we've had our ups and downs, like we've been at the mountaintop and places where we've been at the valley, but those are the moments where we're able to readjust and learn and say, okay, where are we? And are we in the best space to provide value for each other? And if we're not, let's figure out how come, and then let's begin to work on those particular things. And that is important, because what I truly believe is that the universe is sharing with you, hey, you still have so much room to grow. And by growing, you have someone like your business partner or whomever you have a relationship with to share with you and show you what are some things you should be working on. And so that's why I think that our relationship is beautiful. Joe and I, we've been knowing each other for a very, very, very long time. Even before we became business partners, we were friends. Joe was like, at the time, I remember he was 21, I want to say 21, 22 at this time. And I remember Joe and I, we have a mutual friend. That's how we met at a nonprofit event. And the friend, we came here to Atlanta. We about to go to the club. I think we about to go to Vanquish at the time. And he was like, hey, yeah, man, I'm about to go stop and drop off something to Joe. I was just like, oh, okay, Joe coming to the club with us. You know what I mean? It's a party. This is 11:30. This is 11:30 at night, mind you, right?
Okay.
So he drops off. I think there were some shoes he was dropping off to Joe. And I was like, yo, he ain't coming with us? Like, what's up? He's like, no, he's working. I'm like, working? And that blew my mind. I was like, the whole time, I was like, whoa, I need to get my life together. I'm like, this guy is 21 years old. And here I am, I'm 26, 27. I'm out here going to the club. But at that moment, I was like, okay, this kid is, in my mind, I'm thinking like, this kid is special at that time. You know what I mean? But this man is special, And no disrespect, Joe. But, I was like, this guy is very, very special, because he's doing something that a lot of people in his group are not doing. And if he was out there going to the club, doing all those particular things, that would be like normal. Okay, you should be doing that. You're 21, 22. You should be checking out what's going on in the world. But he wasn't. Wow. He was in the office 11:30, putting in the work, investing in his future. And when I saw him investing in his future, I was like, okay, he's gonna be great. And here we are now, several years later.
You distinguished yourself, Joe.
Absolutely.
That's dope. What are some qualities that you like about working with Brandon?
He's in a constant state of evolving, so it forces you to level up as well. So like literally, it could be 1 month he can be focusing on critical communication. Right, it could be, or effective communication rather, and then another month it could be on healthy eating. It could be anything, and it's constantly pushing you to do more. And I think because you're like, damn, okay, he's getting ahead of me. Like I need to step my game up. Like becoming a better manager, a better boss. You look at these things, and you're like, okay, he's working with his people, having these one-on-one meetings. Okay, I probably need to step my game up too, and start really coaching my team as well, and stuff like that. You see those things, but being able to just still come to, like, allowing me to work how I want to work as well, just working together, being partners. I'm an interesting person. I'm different, and I know it can be tough to deal with.
What
as well.
What do you mean? How are you different?
I can be very black and white.
Okay, give me.
I can be very straightforward. Very black and white is like, as it relates to like finances, something I could say, look at it, but oh no, we can't afford it. Yeah. Just look at it like that.
Okay.
Be very black and white, but people don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So, but then also being respectful and realizing that this just isn't mine, so I can't take that mindset as well. So then having those real conversations, like, all right, bro, like we can probably do this, but we have to finagle this, we have to move these funds around, do this type of thing, and really working together. Because realizing that you have to, it's give and take, no matter what. And you have to be in a space where you're willing to accept criticism.
Yeah.
and know that you need to work on things within yourself because everything comes out. So like we have an executive coach that pushes us. And that's one of I think the best investment that we have made. And that was because of Brandon. He pushed for that. Mm-hmm. And at first I was like, all right. And then,
break that down for people who may not know. For people who want to have a business, obviously be as successful as you guys. What is that role?
The executive coach, we meet with them on a weekly basis, and we talk about things, different issues that we're having in the businesses, different opportunities. And we're able to use that as a strategy session, or even to have those difficult conversations of things we need to work on within each other. Like, hey, bro, like, you need to do this. Or Brandon can tell me, like, yo, like, you're not really here right now. You're not really listening. You're not hearing what's going on. And it's just like, all right, I've been too focused on this, or I'm stressed out, and I need to go work on myself. So I'm like, and realizing we can look at each other and be like, bro, you all right? Mm-hmm. Like he'll say something like that, be like, bro, you all right? We're like, yeah, I'm good. But back to the coaching, my bad. He literally helps us from the formation of our mission statement, our values, all of that stuff, as well as from our strategy sessions, figuring out how we're going to grow. So we're putting together a strategy session right now for the remainder of the year, as well as the next coming year. So we work today on that, just coming up with the itinerary and what that looks like and exploring that idea, and then bringing on some of our team members to that meeting. But we already have but we had to come together first to make sure we had the agenda straight, to make sure we had our ideas straight, and that everybody's ideas getting heard, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. I want to dive into the product itself because obviously millions of people love the product. Mm-hmm. Can you guys talk about the conception of it, the quality of it, and what people can expect if they use the product?
Sure. You want to take that one?
Yeah. So our product is we have all natural ingredients that's there to help nourish your beard, your skin, your hair. You know what I'm talking about? Your body. You know what I mean? We got the whole enchilada over here. You do what I'm saying? So if you want to look phenomenal and feel unstoppable, come to EAG. You know what I'm talking about? So we truly have put a lot of we're very intentional. So let me talk about one of our products. It's called the My Hydration. The My Hydration is a leave-in beard hydrator. Okay. Now, at the time when we creating this product, there really wasn't that product in the market. A lot of beard companies, they were focused on oils, balms, butters, just the normal like starter kit for a beard company. That if somebody got a beard company or a beard kit or beard products or whatever the case may be. However, I'm like, no, our beard gets crunchy, it gets dry. We experience a lot of breakage. We don't have, it looks dull. There's no shine. You know what I'm talking about? You want that jewelry in your beard. You want them diamonds, that glistening, That's what you want, because it makes you feel good, especially if somebody's like, whoa, wow, your beard is on.
Do you actually get beard compliments?
Do I? Hey, don't touch my beard.
Really? No.
Oh, yeah.
People
I saw that.
I saw that.
We were out one day. Somebody did. He was like, yo. Go ahead. I was going to say, just because we were at this event and this woman walked by and just like literally just tried to grab his face, and it was just like, he was like, yo. Because think about if that was the other way around. Think about if a man was trying to grab a woman's face.
Out of line.
It would be completely unacceptable. But then it's like, because we're men, we're supposed to be, it's okay. Like, nah.
No, it's not okay. I don't know where your hands are. I don't even know you.
Yeah.
So, but we get that, right?
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment, but it's just the way they trying to go about it. Listen, you know what it took to get to this level? Mm-hmm. Listen, they don't understand though. I'm like, this is the $1 million beard right here. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? No crunch, only softness.
No crunch.
Only softness. So we had the My Hydration, and when that was like, we were the first company in the market, platform in the market to introduce a hydrator, something that's going to actually add moisture to the beard, and no one else was doing it. And before you know it, all of a sudden, a lot of companies started to follow suit, right? Because we started to put that knowledge, that information out there in the on social media, and then people began to our community. Of course, they talking to people. They like, man, but your beard company don't got this though. So then they're going asking their beard company, hey, can you make this and do that? And then of course the beard company, the companies they follow suit. So that's one product. That's like that's our second leading product that we sell. Okay. The other product that we have, which is our number one product, is called the My Hair Repair Serum, and that was developed because I was losing my hair here in the crown, and I got diagnosed by my dermatologist with telogen effluvium, which is a type of hair loss.
Okay.
And so at that point, we took action. We started to
This
experiment.
was before you started the company, or
No.
because you started the company?
This is how the reason why we came out with the My Hair Repair Serum. The company was already started. We had the beard care product. We had that. The next level was that was the next product that we introduced to the market.
Got you.
But that product was developed because I was suffering from hair loss, and so at the time I went to my dermatologist, because I was just like, well, I'm only natural. Give me something natural. So she gave me some natural, and I'm like, because we made our own beard oils and balms, like, so we know how to make product. We know ingredients. We know how much it needs to be in there. So we already understand that process. So I'm like, oh, we can make something like this. We can do something like this.
Yeah.
And so, without my dermatologist knowing, we ended up getting a product, and I started using it, and maybe it was 3 months later. It was March of 2018. I was diagnosed with telogen effluvium. March of 2019. When I went back to my dermatologist, like March 1st, March 2nd, around that particular time, she was like, oh, no, you don't even have hair loss anymore. You're great. And I was like, whoa, this stuff really works.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put this on the market right now. You know what I mean? The proof is in the pudding.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, I documented it, everything. So I would go to my dermatologist with the video and everything. And she was she was sharing the experience. Like, oh, no, this guy really is dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
And so that threw us into another category, and that's the hair loss category. And that world opened up because we began to identify, again, a lot of these hair loss companies, they're speaking to a certain demographic, a certain type of individual. Again, no one's speaking to our community.
Yeah.
No one's been able to tell that story. No one's really been able to educate them on that level. And so we saw it as an opportunity to say, hey, there's a lot of men out here who are suffering from hair loss. There's a lot of men who are having issues with trying to figure out, man, either my line is trying to run from me, you know what I'm saying, or I woke up with a whole nother scalp, you know what I'm talking about? And so with that My Hair Repair Serum, we've been able to help a lot of men who've been suffering from hair loss. Yeah.
Joe, can you speak to, I guess, the details as far as like the importance of, I guess, the buildup of the actual product and some of the ingredients that you guys use, and why you have been intentional about going holistic on a lot of the ingredients in the product?
Well, one, we go from a holistic standpoint because that's who we are as people, like between Brandon and I. So we're taking supplements on a daily basis. We're looking for the natural remedy. We're looking for ways to get around taking prescription drugs, things of that nature. So that was something that we wanted to incorporate into the business. So we stayed fast with that, and that's exactly why we have, like, even all the way down to the soaps, like those are all certified organic, as well as the deodorants. Making that switch to all natural deodorants. It's all about using what nature has naturally given to us.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people use some of the chemicals and all these other things to treat whatever they're going through, but not actually address the major concern of what's going on in their body. So you think about like inflammation and things of that nature. For inflammation, we're going to take turmeric because we know that that's a natural anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that, man. There's things that we can combat a lot of issues that we have with going the natural route without necessarily going to the doctor or necessarily using a prescription to satisfy that need or whatever we're going through.
Yep. And everything has been researched. So we can take our ingredients. We have a great deal of research, clinical studies to support why we have these particular ingredients in our product. So it goes back, everything, there's intentionality behind it. From our My Hair Repair Serum, we have saw palmetto. You can go do research where they show that how saw palmetto helps with reducing hair loss. We have things such as we have another ingredient, or not an ingredient, but a product called ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a stress adaptogen. So a lot of men who are stressed, that can disrupt their hair growth cycle. By disrupting their hair growth cycle, now they're having issues. But when you take ashwagandha, it helps with improving your hair growth cycle. So then now you can have an opportunity to grow fuller, thicker hair.
And so you guys obviously provide excellent product. But if somebody's like wanting to start today on their beard grooming, or trying to remove the crunch.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Remove the crunch.
That's gonna be in the ad.
What are let's say 3 to 5 things somebody can do today to increase their beard appearance and overall health?
Yeah, wash it. That's the number one thing. Wash it 1 to 2 times a week. A lot of times guys get in a situation where they're washing their beard every single day, well, that's going to cause your beard to dry. The second thing, you got to get you a leave-in beard hydrator. That's important. You can go do the research yourself, and it shows that people who have our hair texture have a higher probability, a higher propensity of dryness and also of breakage. So that's the second thing. The third thing I would say, you can get you some beard oil and or beard balm to help lock in, seal in that moisture. Make sure that you're right, your beard's soft. You know what I'm saying? You ready to step out because the streets could be calling your name, but you ain't prepared.
Oh my God. Okay, and so what if you are just learning how to grow a beard, or can you make yourself grow a beard?
Let me see. No. I tried it. It didn't work.
But for the guys out there that I guess are still very
No. So you got a lot of guys out there who have patchy beards, right? And they're like, man, like you got the silver bullet. I'm like, there is no scientific evidence that beard products create beard hair. Now, there are different tools that you can use, right? Like beard products are there to help keep your beard looking nice, right? Looking shiny, it's soft, right? It's helped to manage it, right? That's what is there once it's grown out. What I recommend guys who are experiencing a patchy beard is a couple things. One, I say get you a derma roller, a 0.5 millimeter derma roller. You can go to Amazon between $10 to $20. You get you a derma roller. These are micro needles, and research have shown how these micro needles or the derma roller itself has helped people grow their hair. And also there's a community out there, communities that's out there where they're actually it's around the derma roller, using a derma roller on your beard.
Yeah.
So that's one way that you can go, right? You can go that way. Also, we recommend exfoliate your skin more often. A lot of times, you can have potential growth, but if you got a lot of dead skin that's just laying on top of a lot of dead skin that's just laying on top of your skin, or the follicles clogging the follicles, then now that can hinder any type of growth. Gotcha. So these are just little things that you can do, making sure that you have the right nutrients in your body. You want to support the growth, and so that's something else that I would recommend for somebody who's dealing with a patchy beard and they're trying to figure it out. And then last, like, embrace where you are. A lot of men get stuck because, again, they feel like, man, I should be there. I should have that beard, right? It's like the same thing with people who see a person with a house or with a new car. Man, I need to have that. So they'll go out and get that loan just to go out there and just prove to everybody, show everybody I got the house, I got the car. And then you be like, oh man, I done messed up now. It's the same thing. But if you can embrace where you are right now, you won't be in a panic, or you won't have anxiety, or you won't be comparing yourself to somebody else. You'll begin focusing on your journey, and you'll find the beauty in that. And that's what I find we find a lot of guys where they want to get to X so bad, but they want to skip MNOPQRSTUV. You know what I'm talking about? They want to skip all of these steps. But I tell them it's about the journey. It's not about the destination. It's about who you're going to become. It's not about who you are. It's not about you getting there, how long it's going to get there. It's about who you becoming on that path. So that's what I say. And
I love that too. Another reason why I really admire you guys and just your overall brand is that you guys are intentional about self-care, self-love, and take steps doing that. Like whether it's like what you put in your body, what you eat, how you live. Where did that come from?
That's who we are. That's who we are as people. Like, we're constantly working on ourselves from the emotional intelligence space, making sure that we have empathy, making sure that we have understanding, that we're even, like, when we're thinking about the other person. Like, that goes back to empathy, but just making sure that we're growing. And I think that's just something that we've been for years. So we're of course going to incorporate that into our business, because that's who we are.
Gotcha. And Brandon, you touched on community, right? People having the community with the what do you call it, derma roller?
Derma roller, yeah.
Yes. But you guys have an awesome community. Black Men's Beard is an extension of Evan Alexander. Can you talk a little bit about that whole brand and that community? Why it's important to continue to put out content so that people can continue to learn? And why you even do that?
Man, how we look is attached to our psychology, and what we find is that there's a lot of men who are dealing with a lack of confidence, and I understand it, right? Like, we grew up where it wasn't built like confidence. You didn't go through a course for confidence. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, no one was there in the community to help support you and say, hey, let me help you with your self-esteem. Let me help you with
Right.
your confidence.
Right.
Let's start working on those things. A lot of times in the community, a lot of it was destructive. It was about breaking you down. It wasn't about building you up.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people in our community are suffering from that. And then you got to think about it. 70% of women are single parents. So a lot of these guys are coming from single parent households. Majority of them are. So if their father wasn't there, or if they were there, they wasn't active, or if they, or they just, their fathers probably didn't even understand because of their father didn't help groom them. And so they didn't know the way.
The ignorance has been passed down.
Absolutely. We don't get a manual and say, okay, this is the way to go. Right? We just kind of get, it's kind of like they open up the van and everybody got to just jump out. You know what I mean? And you got to figure it out. It's like a game. It's like, okay, I'm here. What do I do?
No kind of instruction.
And no instructions, no guidance. And so what we've done, we built a community where we say, hey, you know what? We would help guide you on how to take care of your beard. We'll help guide you on how to take care of your hair. We'll help guide you how to take care of your skin. And we'll help guide you on what is some of the things you should be eating and making sure that you're your very best. We're there to help motivate you and just be an example of what it looks like to be confident, what it looks like to be malleable, what it looks like to be open to evolve. What does that look like? It's just funny because a guy, so it was a video that I had that I put out, and one of the guys who've been with us since day one, and he was like, man, it's so beautiful to see your evolution, to see how your maturation, and they want to see that. They want to see us grow because through us they grow too.
True.
It's like, man, oh wow, oh you got that, you doing that, okay. It kind of gives them permission in a sense because it opens up their world and what they can do. And so we've been able to inspire, not even just from a grooming standpoint, just from an entrepreneurial standpoint, what we've been doing, just from I have a 12-year-old son, right? So people admire these particular things because they have kids as well. And we have a lifestyle and they admire those particular things. And so that's what we provide for our community. More importantly, is just that confidence and what it takes and how to get to that particular space. And that's why it's important to have a community, because if you don't, then you can be alone. And once if you ever been alone on an island, which none of us haven't, but I wouldn't want to try that move. You know what I'm talking about? It can be a very harsh space, and I've been in those particular spaces, right? You can you can be depressed, you can be sad. You're not developing the way that you should be developing. Your awareness is not there. But when you're a part of a community where iron sharpens iron, you can become the best version of yourself.
Are you at a point now, like you do a lot of stuff, you read a lot of books, you plan out your day, you work out, you're consistent with things like that. Are you able to tell when you are on a downward slope?
Oh, absolutely. I totally know when I'm like, I know when I'm in my bag and I'm in my rhythm, like I'm in my flow. I know. When I'm not, I know too. But again,
what's a sign where you're like, okay,
it's a feeling that I have. It's like I'm like trying to shake this feeling, like, wow, I got this it's like I got a monkey on my back. I'm trying to shake this cloud off me. It's gonna be sunny outside. Like I'm looking outside, like, what is the weather today? I'm looking at my phone. It's at 100 degrees. I'm like, but why does it seem like it's just raining? It's like Seattle in here. And it's like a cloud is just.
Shout out to Seattle.
Shout out to all my people in Seattle. I got one of my friends, a good guy I know. He out there in Seattle. I might need to make a trip out to Seattle. I heard it's a really nice place, but I got to go on a sunny day. So I know that I have that feeling. It's like a visceral feeling where I feel that. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that's the truth, but that's what I'm experiencing. So I know when when I wake up, my attitude is just on point. I just have a bounce. I have that energy.
Yeah.
I've always been, so it's two parts of me. I'm an introvert and I'm an extrovert. So I'm an ambivert,
Okay.
And so when I get too far into my introvert space, when I'm kind of closed off from the world, that's not healthy for me. When I'm not spending time with friends, when I'm not spending time with my family, my son, when I'm not spending I have to begin to, because I was like, for example, I was so deep into the business that I began to neglect everything else in my life. And that began to take a toll on me. And what happens is that your life is going to give you indicators. It's going to let you know, oh, something's off. You need to go in there and kind of research that and trying to figure out what that is. And what for me, I was so deep into it, I wasn't spending time. I wasn't doing the things that helps me be the greatest me. Yeah. Right. Making sure I'm with my friends, making sure I'm spending time with my son, making sure I'm out here doing things, right? Working on putting a dent in the world, and that's working on myself, making myself the center of everything, like putting myself first, essentially. And so for me, that's very important, and I've gotten off track where I wasn't doing that. I was so concerned with what everybody else was thinking and doing, or maybe I'm just not taking care of myself the way that I should be taking care of myself. Yeah. And so, a couple months ago I was in that space, and then I had to shake that off. Like I was like, "What's my man name? Usain Bolt." That's how I was right off the block. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. This is not. This is
run
not,
as fast as you can.
I had to run as fast as I can because I had so much energy bottled up that it was just like ready to explode, and I didn't know I was in that space. I really didn't know how deep I was until I began to slow down and began to look around like, oh wow, I'm in the belly of the beast right now. Yeah. So I need to fight for my life, and that's how I was. I felt like it was a civil war within me internally. But I realized that, hey, it's great to work, it's great to go hard, like do that, but you also got to give. You got to also
create some margin. And have some fun.
It's like think about your life as a garden. If you were just in one corner of the garden and you neglected the entire garden, what would your garden look like? It would look like crap. Yeah. Only one part of the garden would look fruitful, and everybody like, oh wow, that corner is great, but the rest of this garden it's not enticing. So you have to constantly water your garden. You got apples, you got oranges, you got mangoes, you got different trees and flowers and things of that nature, and that's how we are. We're a garden, and we got to make sure that we are nurturing it, we're trimming it, we're grooming it, and we're making sure that it's as healthy as it possibly can be.
Yeah, that's good. Joe, would you classify yourself as an introvert?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah?
Most definitely.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I accept that. That is truly who I am. So it's funny though, because I know that B will force me to do things,
podcasts.
Force me to do podcasts, force me to get on camera, force me to post on social media. But I know it's for the betterment of the business and the brand, so I accept that. But to B's point, just speaking about when you're underwater, when you're going through so much, that's the importance and the benefit of having a business partner. So you can have somebody that has your back. So you realize that, and it's like, all right, I'm not even going, like, you might intercept something and be like, oh, I'm about to ask Brandon for this. Like, nah, I got that. Let me do that instead. Let me take on that. Like, cause I know he's already stressed out. I already know he's going through a lot. So let me make sure I can lighten that load as much as possible. Even sometimes you got to you got to say that to each other. Like, hey, bro, you good? And I know sometimes that's what I neglect, because sometimes I'm not as empathetic as I could be, because I'm focused too. Like, I'm like, all right, focus on what I'm doing. And then sometimes I look up and be like, oh, wait. Everything not right. Yeah. And it is tough, but that's the benefit of having like a business partner. You have somebody you can bounce off ideas to, somebody can pick up the slack, and somebody as invested into the company as you are. And that alone is probably one of the biggest reasons why I think that most people need business partners. Yeah. It's a lonely ride.
Yeah, it is. And for you guys, like you said, obviously not just be business partners, but you spend almost all your day, all of your day. Oh my. Almost all of your day together. Almost all of your day together. So I think that's so important. I really like what Brandon was saying about the community and Black Men's Beard and how to lift that up. So you have that community that you can nurture, but then on the other side, you still have the business. How have you learned how to navigate, how to continue to scale and evolve the business so that you guys continue in this success journey?
It's tough because you always have to think 2 steps ahead. So you always got to think of what can go wrong. Okay. And that's the space that I'm in. I'm always like, all right, this is good, but what can go wrong? So like, what can we do if this happens? Is that a
positive energy to concentrate in? Is that
I think it's a planning energy.
Okay.
You gotta have a plan.
Energy.
You gotta have a plan
like
no matter
that.
what.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, because you have to have somebody who's optimistic, somebody who's a realist. And I think I'm more on the realist side. I'm like, all right, cool, this is possible, but this may happen. So what can we do in the event that this happens? And I think it's important to have, and I think that's why we have a great, like, the dichotomy, if you will, between Brandon and I is like completely different in some aspects.
Yeah. One of the biggest differences, I think, is that, like you said, you're very introvert. He's extrovert. You've been very extrovert on social media the past couple months. You've worked on your body.
My body.
He's been posting a lot of shirtless pictures. How has that been for you? Has it been a fun experience to show yourself in that way to the world?
I love it. I worked hard. Like I put the time. Like people, like I put the time in. That's like what I'm eating. I'm very disciplined about it, you know, and I understand how my body works. And so, when you've invested and you've been very intentional, you've been very disciplined about it. You show like, hey, it's been working.
Somebody said that literally like getting your body right is like one of the hardest things for a person to do. Like even more than like starting a business or anything like that. How were you able to kind of like capture that purpose and the energy to take care of yourself and be consistent and disciplined with it?
Yeah. Well, I think that it's in line with who we are as Evan Alexander, right? It's about making sure that everything starts from the inside out, right? And even when we talk about beards and everybody's looking for the magic bullet, it's like, no, it starts from the inside out, not the outside in. Except for Mayweather. He did get a beard, but he did that. He had surgery done on his beard. He went to a doctor and they took follicles from his hair and put it on his beard. So that's entirely different.
Really? Is that allegedly? Or is that
no, that's a fact.
Oh, that's
what he did.
He did the same thing with his hair. So they took follicles from it, I think from the back, or more likely they do from the back because it's a little bit more discreet. But they take follicles from the back of your head. Same thing with LeBron James.
Wow.
And they put it on his scalp. Remember, he was bald for majority of his career. Now all of a sudden he got like a fro.
Yeah.
And his beard, in his face, he always had a gold teeth. He never had a beard. And they took those follicles and they began to put that in on his skin, and before you know it, bada boom, bada bang. Yeah.
Wow.
All he needs is EAG now. That's his last step.
EAG.
Yep, on his beard journey. You need that EAG. But going back to Mayweather, talk to me because I saw you in the fight. I saw you in the fight. You did your thing, but your beard was like, it wasn't looking Money Mayweather. You know what I'm talking about? It was looking a little slant. You know what I mean? They're not treating you right over there. So, but yeah, so that's something that has always been a part of our culture, and taking care of yourself. Now, for me, it's just taking it to the next level. You know, getting in the gym. Being consistent about getting in the gym, making sure I'm being consistent about when I'm eating, when I'm not eating, being very intentional about what I am eating.
Yeah.
That's very important. Like I don't do a lot of snacks, and if I am snacking, it's like cashews or something like that, or pistachios. If I am snacking for the most part. Yeah. So
you're just out here now to look like a snack.
I mean, I'm talking about, bring your blankets. You know what I'm saying? Bring your blanket. I'll be a pig in a blanket for you.
How have your DMs been?
Listen, I might have to give me a little assistance for my DM to manage it. You know what I'm saying? I might have to put these DMs in an Excel file.
Oh my God.
Nah, but yeah, you. It's really about. Listen, at the end of the day, my thought process is this: I don't live for today, right? Even though I know Drake out here talking about live for the day. No, I live for who I'm going to be, because the 40-year-old version is going to have to live with all the decisions that the version of me right now made or did not make. Yeah, that's going to happen. It's coming. So it's like, think about it. Like I don't want the 40-year-old version like, man, why didn't you got regrets, you could have done this, you could have got that. I'm not going down that road. I already know. So we're going to be a lot older than we are younger. Yep. So it's all about taking care of yourself, because it's a journey. Again, you want to make sure that you can ride this journey out at the highest level. But in order to do that, you have to physically be in the position to do so. So for me, that's my mentality when it comes to taking care of my body. Yeah. And so yeah, it is a discipline.
I think it's a good point too, because there's a theory that I like to live by as well. It's like everybody obviously has like a spiritual will, what they were called to do here on this earth. But I also think paired with that, I believe that people have a physical will. So what is the physical capacity? What are you called to do physically to kind of like make that spiritual will go forward, propel forward? And so I think it's important that people kind of look at, what was I called to do? So like if, for instance, if you were called to like speak and travel, you need to think about, okay, what does the physical will look like? Okay, I need to have stamina. I need to have energy. And so just kind of looking at that just made me think of like what you were saying, the importance of that physicality element. And like what you just said too, like your future self, learning your future self. What would you guys say is the end game for the company, or is it just continue this? Do you guys see yourselves being on shelves? What does the end game look like for you?
To grow the company as much as possible, to be in a few retailers, to become a multinational, just massive company. We want to continue to grow. We want to have more product offerings. We want to continue to grow our community, grow our staff, grow our team, and really create that change throughout the world.
Are you guys gonna just stick with the guys? Or are you guys ever gonna branch into doing products for females?
Who knows? I mean, listen, you have companies out there like Johnson and Johnson, right? You have companies like Unilever. You look at these particular companies, what do? They don't go out there and try to like build a whole nother brand.
Yeah.
They're like, why do that? Like, work smart, not harder. Let's go buy the brands. That is how you want to. That is the smartest way to go. Because if you try to go the other route where you're trying to build a whole nother brand, like that takes a lot of energy, a lot of momentum. Like it doesn't happen overnight. But if you can find brands out here who are already have that momentum, if you can just purchase the brands, that puts your company in a better space, because then now you can really begin to say, oh, how much can we really make? What's the expense? What can we profit? How many people are coming to their site? How many people are buying their product? Who's buying their product? Like you'll have all this data that if you're trying to start a company, you don't have that particular data. But when you have the data, you can actually make greater business decisions. So we have a really great opportunity to do a lot of things, and I think that in the future, our future could be possibly where we're in a space to where we're already building out a system, something that works. We got, as Joe has said, SOPs. We have a system that's working, and we got people that are in place. We got a media squad. So we're already going through all these particular learnings to get us to the level that we're going to be on. Now it's just a matter of once we get to that 40,000 foot view, we're going to have a better perspective because we're going to be able to see out into the land.
Right.
Versus if you're starting at the ground level, you can't really see. You know, if you're in New York, have you ever been in New York?
Yeah.
New York, you can only see what's in front of you. But if you're at the highest peak of that building, you can see the entire city, different barrels and things of that nature. And when we get there, we'll be able to truly say, hey, you know what? What's the best direction for EAG? Because we'll have a little bit more perspective.
That's good. Have you, as we get ready to close, have you, Joe, like thought into or done the research on how hard it is to actually get your product on the shelf? And if that is something that most people should aspire to do?
Well, we definitely thought about that. Definitely had some discussions with some people, internal and external. So that's definitely something we do want to pursue. For a recommendation, if people just should do retail, I mean, it comes with a different level of risk. What happens if your product doesn't sell? You got to buy it back. So imagine you did 500, like a 50,000 unit order somewhere, it doesn't sell, buyback clause, you got to buy that back. So there's some risk involved in that, as well as if you go to markets where your product doesn't do well, but the retailer pushed you to go to these markets. So it's like knowing your value, knowing when to say no, knowing to say this is too big of an opportunity. I want to start out at this level and standing firm.
That's a good point. All right, so as we get ready to wrap, I want to ask you guys just a fun question. Tell me your favorite thing about your beards.
I got jewelry in my beard. My beard glistens. It has this shimmer, right? Me and the sun have a symbiotic relationship. And when people see me in the sun and I'm sweating and I'm out here, they be like, whoa, what you got in your beard? I like diamonds. Diamonds are forever.
Diamonds are forever.
Exacto mundo. Yeah, absolutely.
Joe.
I love the versatility of actually being able to grow one now. So coming from a corporate environment where, you had to be shaved, face was shaved, that type of thing. You can razor bumps and everything else. You can actually be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love most about this entrepreneurship journey is creating an environment in which we can truly be ourselves. And that speaks to every aspect of the space that we created here.
Yeah.
Like we have meetings with hookah. We got people's favorite snacks in our office. I have liquor upstairs. Like it is truly a space that you want to be, and I'm working exactly how I want to work.
That's dope. Least favorite thing about your beard?
The least favorite thing?
Yeah.
I don't have nothing the least favorite thing. My beard is spectacular.
Does your beard smell?
No. Yes,
Never?
It does smell. Yeah.
What would cause it to smell?
That my hydration, that beard wash, that be smelling so
what
good.
Would cause it to smell badly?
My beard don't smell bad.
Ever?
Never.
What about food?
You can definitely, like, when your hair gets longer and you, like, especially over here, you start chewing your hair sometimes, things like that. It happens. But I mean, what's worse is just part of adding on to your to-do list in the morning when you get ready. It's another task to do, right? So, like, first you started out with just brushing your hair, brushing teeth, all that other stuff. But then now it's like, all right, let me do the beard stuff. Then let me do my skincare routine because we sell skincare products now. So it's like, it's definitely, it adds time to getting ready in the morning. But, we're a reflection of our company.
Yeah. I think something, too, that a lot of people don't think about, but is also a key element of having a beard. Can you speak to how do you react? How do you kind of navigate through when you're intimate with someone? And
I'm going to tell you what I do. Listen.
What do you do?
Don't touch my beard. That's all I got to say. Hey, listen, whatever you do, don't touch the beard. I put on my little beard mask, my shower cap. I lock it up, throw away the key. You know what I'm talking about? Because I got to protect it at all times.
You don't let your significant other touch your beard? Oh.
I got it.
That's really?
I'll be like, where your hands, man? No, you got to understand. Listen, like, you think about it. Like, I'm not saying, like, guys out there to do this. Like, I'm not telling you to do this. But what I'm saying is for me, I have to be very cognizant of my beard. Because
it's the face of the brand.
It's the face of the brand. So for me, it's like, because everybody else doesn't treat themselves the same, or are they in the same position?
Yeah.
So from their perspective, they can be looking at it entirely different. But from my perspective, I see something different as well. And again, it's like, hey, I have to be very careful about, the beard situation. I'd be like, yes. She'd be like, yo, my hair. I'm like, what are you talking about your hair? I'm not talking about my beard.
More specifically.
So when she, you know what I mean? So for me, I have like a satin pillowcase and things of that nature, to make sure my beard is right.
More specifically, I was having a conversation with a guy, and he was talking to me about having relations with a woman the night before. And providing her oral sex, essentially. Do you just let that sit on the beard the whole night, or do you get up and wash the beard? Or is that rude to wash the beard?
No. I would tell every guy, get you the My Beard conditioner, or go find you a rinse beard conditioner, and make sure. Well, first, let me start off with this. Let me educate some of the guys out here real quick. Let me start off with this. Before you even get in the bed, make sure you go take a shower. How about that?
Okay, you know what I mean? That's a good starting point.
Make sure your body's clean. Make sure her body's clean. Like, y'all don't want to start off. Y'all don't want to start off on the wrong foot, like in a dirty.
In a funk.
In a funk.
Pun
like,
intended. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, like take a shower. Like that's the first thing. But again, and then post, you want to take a shower too. Get you a rinse beard conditioner and make sure you just wash all them juices off your beard. You know what I mean? You don't want it to just be out there marinating, because again, you just don't know.
It's just gonna sit. It's just gonna sit on your lips.
Yeah. You don't want that.
You don't want that. That's bad for business.
You just don't know. You just don't. You got to go out there. Once you get done with your business, make sure you rinse your beard off. Get your rinse beard conditioner. Okay, so let's say if you don't have one, right? You like, whoa, I don't have one right now. What do I do?
Yeah.
Good grief, Batman. I'm gonna tell you what to do. Go get you some. Go run your joint through some water, rinse off all that.
That's what I'm saying though. But so what if you're in this situation, you guys are in the bed, you just had an amazing experience, but you're going to sleep when you wake up in the middle of the night, like my lips, my face still smells like badonkadonk.
Oh, you got to go rinse it off.
You don't think that's rude?
What, to go rinse your beard off?
Yeah.
No, I think that's important. I think that because it's your body. Like,
that's true.
Like it's your body, yours. So you got to treat. You have to treat. If you don't have the level of respect for yourself, nobody else would have that level of respect for you. So I think that you definitely want to make sure that, because if you're gonna take care of you, you're gonna make sure you're gonna take care of your partner.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So.
Are you about to say something, Joe?
Nah. No, I'm not. I'm not saying anything in the
Hey, listen. Hey, ladies.
Hey, back to the DMs discussion though.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious. So we have a customer service team. So they're the ones who answer our DMs. But people make an assumption that they're talking to Brandon all the time. And it's just hilarious because it's like, yo, like, this is a business. You think Brandon is sitting on the phone all day answering all 500 DMs that just came in? Like,
hilarious.
No.
That's hilarious.
So it's so funny. They're like, staff's like, up another one. Like, it's just something funny that happens. But it's like, come on, guys. Come on, ladies. Everybody, like, this is Brandon's personal page. This is a business account. Like, come on, y'all.
They need to get at your personal page.
Hey.
Yes.
Come over here.
Send all that to Brandon's personal page and not the business page. Y'all are
They be
slowing down
wildin'.
the process of
Joe, they be
customer service.
wildin'.
You know, sometimes some things are inappropriate that we receive. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. But
Wow. Come on, ladies, tighten up.
Hey.
But you know, it's a part. It's a part of having the business, and that's what happens when you're the face of an organization.
That's
as well.
true. That is true.
But it's just the funniest thing ever because we like literally like we have a it's like a folder of just like funny stuff, like a screenshot, just funny stuff because we do a segment called Customer Service with Joe. So then like I'll read out funny things that come from the customers and stuff like that. So
That's funny.
Yeah, it can get wild sometimes.
Yeah, I could imagine. All right, so for anybody who wants to follow in you guys' footsteps, last words of encouragement on what they can do to start today, to hopefully aspire to be as successful as you guys have been. What would you say?
I'd say start your business. There's so many things and that people think they're like that hold them back. They're always waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting until everything gets together, and everything's never going to be together. But you have every single thing figured out. It's not going to work like that. So just start. Believe in yourself. Work hard. Don't worry about what your family, friends say. Don't expect for certain people to support your business. I think that's huge.
That is
people
good.
have this thing like they have this almost obsession or this thought that their family and friends are their company's marketing team. No, that is not their expectation.
Shout out to my cousin.
That is not their expectation. Like I mean, you
Yeah.
cannot put that. You cannot put that expectation on other people or expecting them to support your brand.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. Like yeah, you can post for me, cool. I appreciate that. But like at the end of the day, maybe you sell a product that they don't want or that they don't see value in, and that's real. And you have to accept that. But like getting on social media mad, I can't believe my family don't support my business.
Yeah.
That's like yo, that's not necessary. It's like what close to 8 billion other people in this world. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Get it done. Stop focusing on the negative and focus on what you can control.
There go that black and white Joe. He just came out. He just came out at the end. No, that's real. I like that,
that's
Joe.
real,
All right,
that's
B,
real.
what would you say?
I would say focus on one thing. I think that what happens with people who get into business, they have this notion. I don't know where this came from, but this notion where you have to be everything to everybody. But that's not how the world works. Not in this day and time, especially not in this day and time when you have so many different niches, you have so many different communities, so many different pockets, that if you don't know how to speak the language to people, because everybody uses different language, you can be in the Build-A-Bear community. They have a different language. You can be in the Ferrari community. They have a different language. You can be in our community. We have a different language. So it's very important to, one, be able to pick one thing so you can speak directly to the people and you can begin to connect with them in a real way. But when you start just trying to focus on a million things and trying to be everything, you try to be everything and you're nothing at the same time. You lose people. So I would say focus on one thing. There's a book called The One Thing. That book changed my life forever. It's called The One Thing. So go and check that out at your local bookstore or Amazon, okay?
Sold everywhere.
Everywhere.
All right, well, fellas, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I wish you both continued success with Evan Alexander. You guys have already, obviously, as I got checked off camera, have been extremely, extremely successful. And so I wish you guys the best and nothing but love for what you guys are doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, too, follow us on Evan Alexander Grooming on our Instagram. If you want to join the Black Men's Beard community, you can follow us on Instagram at Black Men's Beard as well. And then from there, you'll be able to know all of our different social media platforms. And don't forget, if you want your beard right, if you want your hair tight, and if you want your skin to glow, go to evanalexandergrooming.com.
Ew. We actually have, can you hand me one of the products? We actually have some.
Got the
on
bomb
display.
right here.
Okay, this is the bomb.
Yeah, take that.
Can I open it?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, this bomb right here, we had, how many iterations we did of this, bro?
We did over 20.
Yeah, over 20. Well over 20.
Can you see that, Cordelius?
That, bro, we end
So
on the
like
bomb.
nuts.
See how good that bomb is?
Where does that go? That goes just directly on the hair? Mm-hmm. Oh.
You rubbing it in
Can
your
I
hands
smell
first?
it?
Yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely. That tobacco and
Ooh.
amber scent.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
smells
masculine.
really good.
Sexy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Sophisticated.
Oh my God.
It
You know
smells
what
like
I mean?
it's a man,
Yeah,
right? It smell that, right?
it's a man about his business.
You better stop it.
Grown and sexy.
Grown
Wow.
and sexy.
And we've
I like
had
that.
several iterations of this. I know Brandon hated me throughout this process. I was like, yo, we can do better. We can do better,
We
bro.
can do better?
We could do better. He was so mad.
Really?
Yeah, we had I think we had like maybe 28 of the beard serums, if I'm not mistaken.
Whoa, 28?
Iterations, yeah.
All right, so that goes directly on the hair, and
Yep.
then what else do we have?
Or you can also, excuse me,
Do the beard oil.
do the beard oil.
Yeah.
Get the beard oil right here.
Yeah, let me open it up. All right. Bam, right there. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not gonna do that. Let me do this. Open your hand. Or your palm. Oh, you want to put it right
Yeah.
there? Okay. Okay, hold up. This is a new one, so you gotta get the.
You gotta break it in.
Gotta break it in a little pump. I don't want.
Maybe because you're holding it. Oh, wait, so there it is. Okay.
I just don't want a whole bunch to come out.
All right.
Smell that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Hey, that's what she said.
What is going on?
What's going on?
And we're really big on the scent.
Oh, I like
we're
it
really
too.
We're
This
really
is
big
like
on
this is like a sneaky.
Sense is very important.
It's like an after smell. It's like you smell it, but then
Yeah.
you don't smell it until like a couple seconds later.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
Thank you.
Okay. What else we working with?
Oh man, we have the vitamins. We got the colon cleanse.
Oh, vitamins. Okay. Oh, colon cleanse.
That colon right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The body
That's
can't fully
that's important.
absorb the nutrients if your colon healthy.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this is the Evan Alexander headquarters where we are right now
Yes.
in Atlanta. You guys make all your products out of here.
Majority are made here. We hire some chemists to get some stuff made outside of the company that they can do more efficiently than we can.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
That's dope.
these are hair growth vitamins. We have hair growth gummies.
Mmm. You see that? My hair grow. Wow.
We have hair growth gummies. We have organic. We have
What's
turmeric.
that?
Excuse me.
Wow. Sky's the limit.
Yes.
You guys have do-rags?
No, we don't have do-rags.
I mean, or you said something about a silk situation?
Oh, they do have beard bonnets out
Oh,
there.
beard bonnets.
Yeah,
Do you
beard
wear
bonnet.
that?
I don't. I wear a satin. I have a satin pillowcase, so
Okay.
I kind of just stay in that space.
Yeah. But you guys you have combs? I thought
we do.
Yeah, we have
You guys
picks. We have
picks.
combs.
Wooden
There we
picks
go.
and combs.
Wooden picks and combs.
We have CBD sleep aids. So it's all natural CBD with melatonin to help you go to sleep at night.
Wow.
We have soft gels that'll lower your anxiety levels, make you less anxious, take away some of that stress of the day. We had some gummies. We discontinued those. Excuse me. What else? What am I missing, bro?
You got the soaps.
Soaps.
We
yeah.
got the deodorants.
Yep.
Wow.
Right.
Organic
We got
certified soaps and deodorants.
the skin. We got the face wash. We got
Yeah.
a whole skincare kit. We got 3 different kits.
Yeah.
So we have that. Yeah, we have a whole
That's dope.
line.
And if people want to buy the products, what do they do? Where do they go?
EvanAlexanderGrooming.com.
Yeah.
There it is.
Get the whole set. The whole
The
kit.
whole, the entire set.
Everything. Get everything.
Get everything in the set.
It's you're gonna smell seductive. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
because
Call me.
silly. This smells good.
Thank you.
You guys did an excellent job. At
Thank
this. All right, so that's it. You guys are gonna keep going up.
Yes.
I already know.
Thank you.
We
So
already know.
thank you again for being on Finding Your Niche with Niche. Tap into their pages. You want anybody to hit you in your DM or?
I definitely welcome the DMs by all means. On my personal page, that is I_AM__Joe, Joe.
There it is. Are you getting?
Oh yeah. If you wanna, you know what I'm saying, if you wanna put on your little slippers, you know what I'm talking about, and you wanna slide over to my DM, you know what I'm talking about. You ain't gotta go to Colorado, you know what I mean, to ski, you know what I mean. Come to my, you know. So
Okay.
it's Brandon Martell. That's Martell. Get at me.
Get at him.
And don't do it on Black Men's Beard.
Don't do it
please.
on Black Men's
Yeah,
Beard.
The
yeah.
staff is tired. The staff is tired of seeing everything that you
know what I
guys
mean?
send.
They seeing all the interactions. We don't need all that. Just come over here.
I'm weak. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
No, thank you.